The first time he calls the Dragon Zord. The first time he plays his flute and he calls the Dragon Zord. I mean, as a kid, have you ever been more hyped in your life?
No.
Oh, dude, I was like, is this guy fucking, is he playing the fucking dagger right now?
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
about to come out of the water?
A fucking dragon,
Oh,
bitch.
shit.
Pizza time. Pizza time. Pizza time.
You're late. Pizza time.
It's time.
Hey, Ed, how are you?
I'm good, man. Happy
Thanksgiving.
belated Thanksgiving. Yeah, or Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy
Which
belated
was,
Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving?
it was nice. It was very simple.
Good.
Food, a lot of food, a lot of meat, and no veggies.
Do you guys do the turkey, or you guys do?
You know, man.
What do you guys do?
All right. Okay. Hold on. Okay. I want to talk a little about the turkey because as for Filipinos, at least we fucking hate turkey. Okay.
Wow.
Well, it's a bland ass
Fuck you,
fucking
turkey.
white meat. And if you haven't had Filipino food is very much based around pork, for one. Two, most things are like saucy and sweet. So the turkey is basically like the Antichrist in the culinary world for Filipinos. So we hate turkey. That being said, my mom bought turkey for us to try from, like, I don't know, Ralph's or something. And I will have to confirm it is definitely the Antichrist. Why do people like turkey? It's bland and gross and dry. It's the worst parts of, like, the chicken.
So, like, turkey's hard. Think? You know, turkey has to be done right. And, like, the thing about turkey is, like, you really need to do you know what a brine is?
I've heard of the sort, yeah,
it's
but I don't
funny.
know exactly what it is.
It's hilarious how much you love food, but how much you actually know about
Oh,
cooking.
bro, I'm not a chef. I consume food.
See, there's another show along with me trying stuff. Ed learns about actual
learn how
food.
to cook. I know, and how the techniques.
Yeah, so you really need to brine a turkey for 48 hours to 24 hours, so that you can do two different kinds. You can do a dry brine with just salt. You just literally just salt, and maybe a little bit of some sort of seasoning, whatever you want to do, and it'll literally suck into the turkey, sink into it, and it'll grab all the moisture and just hold it in the turkey while it cooks. So you'll get a nice juicy turkey, so it won't be dry or bland. Or you can do a wet brine, which means you're literally going to submerge it into basically seasoning for 48 hours, which is kind of a pain in the ass because it is a turkey. You got to find a place to refrigerate it for 24 hours, right?
Right.
But once that's done, it is just going to be the juiciest thing you ever had. That said, I don't like turkey either. You know, but once a year, it's fine. I do agree with you. It is incredibly bland, no matter what you do to it. But, you know, hey, I think next year I'll have to try the brining. I haven't ever done it before. I'm never in charge of the turkey. In fact, I'm never in charge of anything on Thanksgiving, so it's great.
Me either. Yeah. Hey, Brian. Okay, Brian and Dine. I'll try it next year too.
You can also brine chicken. That helps a lot too.
I'm sure you could. Yeah. Could you brine any meat? Is that like a technique you can just kind of use to brine like any meat?
That's a wonderful question. I've never actually heard if you can brine like meat, like red meat. I don't know.
Okay, but it's basically using salt to keep in moisture.
A dry brine is salt or different seasonings, and you stick it in, put it back into the refrigerator, and just it'll suck in the moisture, and it'll really get you some good food out of it. I've done it for chicken. It's very good.
Okay.
I agree. I'm more of a ham guy, but
we had ham as well, which saved the party. Did you have turkey though?
We had turkey, no ham this year. They decided to go.
Oh, no ham.
Yeah, it was a bit of a bummer.
No, you got ham always saves. Yeah, ham saves. If you have ham, I'm cool with having a little bit of turkey, but
yeah, you know, one of those honey glazed hams. Oh, so good.
Yes.
But
oh my god.
But no, we did not have ham this year, which is a bummer. But it's okay. We still had a great meal.
My wife
good.
I'm glad.
Very, very delicious cream corn. Oof.
I love me some cream corn. I love me some cream corn.
Great mashed potatoes. Oh, she made these from scratch rolls.
Rolls. I like a good roll.
Rolls or something like that.
Ooh.
Dude,
that's awesome. One of my favorite, if not my only favorite, like Thanksgiving-y food is peach pie. Peach pie is awesome.
Really?
I love peach pie.
I've never had peach pie on Thanksgiving.
It's awesome.
Apple, cranberry, or pumpkin.
Apple's great. Yeah. But a good peach pie, man, with that, like if you have like Marie Callender, have you had a MC before?
Of course.
Okay, yeah. Their peach pie, we had it this year. It's awesome.
Wait, you guys still have Marie calendars open up there?
There's one around here. My mom got it. So there's one in Glendale, California. So
Glendale.
if you
Wow.
need to find a Marie calendars, there's one in Glendale, California. Yeah, I haven't eaten there since I was like a kid, but you know,
funny
they
enough,
still do turkey right. I don't know.
very funny story
Thanksgiving. Oh, go
that
ahead.
Olivia, like, it was one of our first times down in San Diego together. So this was like 8 years ago. Oh, Jesus. She said, "Hey, can I stop and get a slice of pie on the way back to her parents' house so she
As
could
you
have it
do.
for dessert?" Right, as you do. So we stopped at Marie Callender's, and she said, "Oh, I don't have my wallet." So I gave her my debit card, and she went in, and she comes out, and she walks out with 2 whole pies in her hands, and I'm like, what are you doing? I don't understand why you have 2 whole pies." And she goes, "Oh, it was buy one, get one half off. You know how expensive these pies are?" And I was like,
Okay. That's a lot of pie, though. That is a lot of pie.
Did not go to waste.
But I get it though. Yeah, that's like,
Yes,
okay. That makes
yes.
sense. Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
She made the right move. She made the right.
I agree. Yeah, at that time she made the right move. Now I would tell her to do the same. But anyway, that was our Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving
Damn,
to
happy
everybody
Thanksgiving,
out there.
friend.
And yeah, so today we've got just a few little news topics. We're talking about Avatar released their final trailer. We got some budget news on Avatar and box office news. So it should be it's going to be fun to talk about. I don't know if Ed knows the actual budget of Avatar, but it's starting to be revealed. It's insane.
Sure.
Then really quickly, we're going to touch on Chris Hemsworth. He had a little bit of a diagnosis this last week, but it led him to start talking a bit more about Thor and kind of had some interesting comments about the future of Thor. So that was interesting. Also, review time. We're going to give a little bit of thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Came out on Friday. And yeah, it'll be super quick because I'm sure we agree on it. But it is the end of phase 4.
It's the end of phase 4. Yes, we can a little celebration for that. Yes.
Yeah, the epilogue, as James Gunn has said. And then we're going to do a nice little segment on remembering Jason David Frank. Yeah, he passed away last week by suicide. Rest in peace to him. And we're gonna talk about him and talk about what he meant to our childhoods and some of our favorite moments. Because something you may not know about us, Ed and I were both. Well, look, you can see the back of Ed's background right there.
Is it there?
Yeah, Ed and I are massive Power Ranger fans, or we were growing up, and yeah, we have some thoughts that we're gonna share about favorite moments of his, and so when we get to that, I'm sure it'll be emotional. But yeah, for now, we're gonna kick it off with Avatar. So the budget has reportedly been revealed. The budget for Avatar: The Way of Water is coming in north of $400 million.
Holy smokes!
They're saying it cost over $400 million. And we don't know how the budget ballooned to that high. I don't know if the sequels have cost that much, but we did get reporting this week as well that Disney has already spent over $1 billion on Avatar budgets, meaning this one, the next one, and the next one. So those are the 3 in production currently. And so Avatar 2, 3, and 4 or have cost Disney reportedly $1 billion just to make. No marketing. So that comes in line with James Cameron basically saying this needs to be the third or fourth highest grossing movie
of all time
ever to just break even, which is this craziest thing to hear. I don't know where to start with all this news, but we can finish here before we jump into a conversation about it. Avatar is tracking at this moment in time, a month before release.
Can I guess? Before you say it?
Good.
Okay. For opening what? Opening weekend?
Domestic
opening weekend.
Yes.
I'm going to say 180 million.
It is tracking for 170 million, which would be massively, would be a big help just domestically. And, you know, internationally, it could put it at maybe 400 million opening weekend, which would be huge. If Avatar can
Wow.
pull that off. Now again, reviews need to come in, and this thing needs to be banging. We all know that. But Ed, where do you start with all this news? Oh my God! There's also another Avatar trailer that got released on Monday
Yeah.
that showed quite a lot more new footage, and I mean, fucking hell, it looked amazing. But
Yeah.
let's start with the budget, Ed. Give me your thoughts on that, and just yeah, kind of help me wrap my head around it if you can.
Well, I don't think it's too hard when you again, we go back to the fact that this movie's been in production for 15 years. The first Avatar came back in 2009. You know what's funny is that like last I spent Thanksgiving with my mom,
Yeah.
and we put Disney Plus on her new TV. We bought her new TV, and like she was like, "I want to watch Avatar." And I remembered, we watched that movie together in 2009 when I was like
Yeah, we were
18 years
kids.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and I remember my mom like loving it too. Like we both kind of looked at each other like, is this like the best movie we've ever seen? Obviously, I mean, for some, I'm sure that's true. Obviously, I
Yeah.
think that was a gross exaggeration now, but it's still amazing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she was so excited. This is the first time I heard someone from that like, in a while going like, I'm really excited to watch the sequel because I remembered it from 2009. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that gave me a little bit of glint of hope. Like, oh yeah, maybe this movie is still kind of just sort of benign in people. Their love for it is
Just in the
there,
back of your head,
just in the
right?
back of your head.
You hope.
But and so maybe this could really come back. But yeah, even at over 400 million, I'm like, that's a lot of freaking dough.
Yeah.
But am I surprised? No. Again, it's been 15 years. The amount of money that James has been asking for new technology to get the water shit right. I mean, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
He's been just working day in and day out.
Yeah.
So am I surprised? No. It's fucking, and again, Avatar was the highest grossing movie of all time.
It is.
So the amount of money they're putting into it, I don't think the accountants at Disney are, really are thinking about it too badly. I think they made this decision a long time ago to like go all in on James Cameron because the dude is he's the top dog. So, and just to talk a little bit about its projection for opening weekend, I don't, and just further, I think I'm feeling good. I think it will make its money back. I think so. So how do you feel about it?
I feel I was a little like, holy shit. And I've been telling you for quite some time now on this podcast that like it just seems weird that the marketing hasn't been like tenfold. Like why we should be on like you don't need to Fast and Furious this like with the fucking whole movie being revealed in the trailers, but I would have started marketing this at the Super Bowl.
I agree with you, and we thought they were going to.
Yeah, I would have said you gotta launch this at Super Bowl. You gotta go. You gotta hit the ground running. It really needs to be the all hands on deck to get people because again, not a lot of people remember Avatar, and like you said, like sure your mom remembers Avatar. I think my uncle's excited to see it. Obviously, you and I are excited to see it. But there's a whole generation of TikTokers that are going to be like, yo, am I going to sit for 3 hours in a movie, watch blue people that I don't give a fuck about? Especially all these people who have gotten pretty much all their content free.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. You don't pay for Disney Plus. Your parents do. You don't pay for Netflix. Your parents do.
Right.
Which means you're just kind of absorbing all your content for free. And like, is it going to be enough to get people back into seats? I do think the movie's going to gross $1 billion. Easy. I think that's easy.
But it needs to pass that.
But it needs to go to almost $2 billion. That is a massive ask. Now, I didn't think No Way Home would get to $2 billion because no matter as much as I love that film, that is an incredibly flawed film. So maybe it can. Maybe it can surprise us and get its ass to $2 billion. But I would be a little bit concerned if I were Disney. I'd be like, oh, fuck.
It is odd. I mean, you're right. The marketing has been one of the most odd things I've ever seen. They re-released the first movie back into theaters, but even that felt quite mellow.
Yeah.
There was no pomp and circumstance for it, but again, for this franchise where the first movie is like one of the highest grossing movie of all time, you'd think there'd be more, confetti. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's very mild, and I don't know what that says. I
Mhm.
don't know if like people, there's like a secret society of Avatar lovers out there that we just don't know about across the globe
Mhm.
that the researchers have found would be, well, it's perfect, like it'll be fine. I don't know, but
I don't
I haven't
know.
heard of it as a film
Yeah.
lover. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know,
Most
but
people
maybe
I
there
talk
is.
to, besides you and maybe a couple of other people, I always get "No, it's just Pocahontas."
Yeah.
So, are they excited to see the sequel? Is it something that needed a sequel? Should James Gunn have focused on another idea? I don't know. We'll see. Only time
We'll
will
find
tell.
out.
Yeah, we'll find
But
out,
but
man.
but James Cameron has basically dedicated like half of his life to
Yes.
a Avatar franchise, which he has never done in
Right.
any of his other movies that could have easily spawned into other franchises,
Right.
or what has Terminator, but like that he helmed.
Right.
But he's committed himself to what, 5 movies? 4 Avatar movies? 6?
I think there's 5, yeah. At the end of the day, there'll be 5 or 6.
So I don't know. You tell me. But
2
what does that
trilogies.
tell you
Yeah.
about James Cameron and what he feels about this? Like, he is going all in on this like nothing he's ever done.
That's a
So
good point.
you take that as, I don't know. Like,
Yeah. That's a
uh,
very good point. And, to kind of like piggyback on that point, James Cameron's the best director of all time.
I
And
mean,
it's in terms of like financial success, it's hard to argue. Like you can't really tell me that he's not the best director of all time. The dude has Titanic, Avatar, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and Terminator, and what most people would argue is the best Aliens movie in a insanely
oh,
like successful franchise of films. The dude knows what he's doing.
oh, yeah,
And most, if not all, that he touches is successful. He's got that Midas touch,
yeah,
so to speak.
I agree.
So yeah, I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
odd. It's
it's
definitely
it's
odd.
it's it's weird.
It's
Like,
it's
will it?
weird.
And especially because this year, like, if if this movie came out in the summer, I have no doubts it probably would have gotten 2 billion easy
Yeah,
because of how successful Top Gun was.
sure.
And I now, I think a little people are a little more like jaded on the going to movie theaters. Like, look, Wakanda Forever, they're saying is going to gross less than Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Right,
Like,
right.
that's if you told Marvel that at the beginning of the year, they'd be like, "You're insane." But that's where we're at now. Again,
Yeah,
that's a different problem. Marvel's eating into their own, you know, they're putting out too much shit. They're
yeah. That's too
oversaturating their
much.
own audience and they're tired of it. That's why. Your quality has dipped quite a bit. So, but if we can akin this to Top Gun Maverick, good movies have legs at box office. So, you know, if it gets good reviews and can, you know, travel by word of mouth, it'll be good. And I don't. It's gonna get 1 billion. Will it get to that third or fourth highest? I just don't know.
Yeah, I
Just
agree
don't
with
know.
you 100%. I don't know. That's a really tall order, man. It's
Yeah,
such a tall order for a. I mean, it's quite the story though. Again,
it would
15
be great.
years. Let's see. It's hard to call it an under. It's barely an underdog, but it does kind of feel that way when the hill is that high. Uh,
Right?
yeah, it's weird. It's odd. I don't know. Maybe this is part of the drama that they're trying to put together. It's definitely odd, but
Yeah.
we'll see. The other good thing that it has for it is that it has all the runway for the Christmas season. There's
Yeah.
no other movies coming out
Nothing.
for
This is it.
for Christmas, or
Yeah.
for December to January to
Yeah.
maybe even February, as far as I'm concerned. It has all that runway
Yeah.
to run. So
Yeah.
if it's that good, I actually don't think it will have a problem.
Yeah.
Probably at least breaking even to making some profit. But
Oof. Wow. That's a look. it's a very smart thing. Like I think the only movie that was gonna come out in that time and ended up getting pushed was Craven.
Was yeah, which is like okay,
That's
come on.
gonna unseat it. But
We're
hey,
watching Avatar
yeah.
for sure.
So, but look, you and I are both excited about it. The new trailer looked amazing. It finally gave
I
us some
mean,
story
it looks.
details.
No, I mean it's all everything screams
Yeah.
everything we expect it to do. So let's make a bet right now. You want to make a bet? Do you think it will? Do you think it will? It will make profit? Do you think it will make profit? Say it. What do you think?
No, I don't want to bet. That's a lot of money in a time that movie theaters are still kind of coming back.
I'm gonna bet yes.
You're gonna say it does.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna bet yes. Well, it's more drama, but at the same time, I don't know. I think you don't have the best filmmakers in the world on this movie, and them not seemingly know what they're doing. And if it is, then this will be the one of the most tragic bombs in like history. Either way, it's a great story, but I want to take the other route because I don't know. I just don't see. It's got to be amazing. Like it just has to be. It has to be.
It has to. It does have to be amazing.
Like it has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be. 15 years, 4 more whatever sequels that he's dealt with. This is the greatest filmmaker alive potentially. How is this bad? Like it just can't. I just don't understand how.
We're not saying it's going to be bad.
But I'm saying
I think the movie's going to be great.
It could be, but here's the thing: its bar of bad is now at good. You know, like even if the movie's good, it may fail.
Yeah.
If it's just okay, like if it's just a good movie, like maybe it may not. I don't know, right? Wakanda Forever is a perfect example. Great film. Should have probably eclipsed Madness, but it didn't.
Yeah. I mean, it's I don't know, man.
It's making me sweat. It's making me sweat for sure. But but I'm for it. Let's go.
I want it to be successful because Cameron said if this one and the next one aren't successful, which I don't know what he deems successful. I don't know if it's good critics reviews or if it's that box office. He said he'll abandon the other 2 sequels.
Oh shit! I didn't hear about that. Okay.
Yeah, he has had a quote. He says, I'll leave it alone." But
okay.
Yeah,
well,
that's the Avatar news for now. It's gonna go into tangent with this news. I didn't tease it at the top, but it's pretty big news in the entertainment world / park world / just business world. Bob Chapek, the Disney CEO, has been fired. Apparently, there was a board meeting. They had their Q4 numbers were released, and even though they made a profit, they had all-time record losses, and they have brought back in former CEO Bob Iger, which, by the way, they're not bringing him back at a discount. The dude is supposedly going to make $24 million over the next 2 years to kind of
unquote,
right the ship and save the company, essentially. So just a quick little reaction to this news. Ed, are you surprised that Bob Chapek, we've heard a lot of bad things about him. And are you surprised that he's gone? 2, do you think he deserves it or he's just the fall guy? And 3, can Iger kind of right the ship with Disney in terms of like a entertainment?
Those are great questions. First of all, I'm surprised at how swift it came.
Yes.
I'm surprised at how just, whoa, okay, this is my Tuesday today, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. That came out of it came out of absolute left. I had no clue they were even considering that. So that was surprising. That's for sure. Am I surprised that he's out? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. I just look at what's been happening at Disney. And again, we can point fingers at whoever, like who's actually making the call for certain IP to be this way or whatever, but it's pretty clear that not bad, but there's certain moves that he's made that it's struggling. Disney is struggling. They just had layoffs. I mean, I don't know what else to say. This is one of the biggest corporations, if not the biggest one on the entire planet. How does that happen? Well, there you go. Yeah, I'm not surprised. And we've had, just by looking at Disney's content alone, which is the things that we even mostly care about, is just the content itself. Woo, it's been rough, man. I mean, it's been really rough. And now you even have talks about Kathleen Kennedy finally getting her ass out of that fucking area, which we've been calling for. That'd be amazing.
It's been so long.
Yeah, it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear that they're kind of really doing some spring cleaning or no fall cleaning.
Yeah.
And do I think Iger can steer it back? Yeah, I think so.
Mm.
I think so.
Mm.
We'll see how.
I mean, I have a hot
I think
take.
so. Go for it. What do you
So
think?
I think that like I agree with you. Like one, it surprised me how swift it was, but not that he got fired.
No.
Just that like I honestly think it was like a Sunday night, dude. I feel like you and
Yeah,
I
I
were
forgot
watching.
what
Not you and I. I was watching football. You don't watch football, and you,
Sunday.
yeah, and boom, there it was.
Uh,
But I'm not surprised. Like, look, he's lost a lot of money. From a not entertainment standpoint, but from like the Disney parks. I've been told that a lot of people are very unhappy with their experiences recently.
mhm.
Like people who are big fans and they're tired of it. I think there was a lot of things that people didn't like. I don't know. I visit the parks. I don't go religiously. But that's a big moneymaker for them. And if people are unhappy, that's a bad sign. Um, so the thing that I think there's this like notion that Bob Iger can save the day, but I don't think he's gonna necessarily save everything.
Okay.
Look, Disney's in the bad debt situation that they're in because of Bob Iger. Bob Iger bought 20th Century Fox
That's
for
true.
$7 billion, like essentially to get what? To get X-Men for $7 billion. That's your $7 billion investment. Like that was a bad buy. And you basically got like schemed into it because Comcast, was upcharging you. They were
Yes.
upbidding it just so you would pay more. And then Comcast made a backdoor deal to acquire Sky Sports, which is a big moneymaker. And all you got was 20th Century Fox.
Was
And the most successful movie you released in that time period has been Barbarian under the 20th century. So,
oof. Well,
yeah,
shit. If you put it in those terms,
yeah, think about it like that. That's the most successful thing you did. And there are reports that the
ugh.
reason there's no X-Men in the MCU is because all their contracts had 5-year extension
Yeah.
periods.
Yeah.
So they can't be
They're still tied
recast.
up.
They can't get anything. That's a problem till 2024. So, Bob Iger kind of puts you in this bad debt situation. Now, as far as fixing Marvel, I don't know. Like, look, Marvel's been really subpar this year. As far as fixing Star Wars, maybe. Apparently, Andor is a fantastic show.
I haven't
We,
watched it yet, but
yeah,
everyone's saying it's awesome.
yeah. I've been told by people who don't like Star Wars that I need to watch this show,
Oh, wow.
which is like must speak volumes. So maybe
That's a
Star
big,
Wars
yeah.
is on the right path. We've heard interesting rumors about Indy 5, but we've also heard that Kathleen Kennedy will be dismissed after Indy 5, that'll be
Thank
her final project, which we all
God.
hope that's true. I don't know if he can fix it. Like you have to fix the content. Like you have to put effort into it. You have to get it right because
But arguably speaking, that move by Iger, I think had that in mind. Do you know what I mean? I
the
in terms
Fox
of
move.
for us, the Fox move.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
think he had that in mind. Now,
Mhm.
economics, maybe it failed. That's fair enough. It
Right.
happens. It happens. But it is a big buy. I mean, $7 billion. It's not Twitter, but still, yeah, it's a lot. But I think he had the right thing in mind. So again, I'm not saying he will. I'm not 100% sure. That being said, I think he definitely has more what it takes than what Chapek did. That's for damn
You know what? I 100% agree with you. Because I think do you remember when Black Widow came out and there was those really bad negative reports between Chapek and Scarlett Johansson fighting?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah,
Yeah, because of her
kind of took
contract
over a little
situation.
bit of the marketing, a little bit.
Yeah, it kind of tanks the movie a little
Oh
bit. Yeah.
yeah.
Because that movie was not supposed to be released on Disney Plus, and she got very upset about it because she wanted her back end, which you're absolutely entitled to that. That's not
I don't blame her. I did not blame her for that.
and
100%.
like the relationship with Scarlett Johansson was so sour, she canceled
understand.
her like Disney contract essentially.
Right.
So apparently, Chapek is a big marketing guy, and Ed and I are two creatives. We don't get along with marketing people.
Typically not.
No, typically, like we don't meld all that well. So now having Iger back in as a creative guy, I think it's the first right step. As far as fixing like Disney itself, Strange World is bombing at the box office right now.
What is that a movie?
Yeah, like it. You look at the two
A
animated
movie.
movies they've released this year, Lightyear and Strange World. I
Bomb.
don't know if I've seen two worse marketing campaigns in my entire life.
I agree with you,
I have
100%.
no idea what the fuck Strange World is
I
about.
don't know what it is either. Don't know.
It's been this weird thing. Apparently, people saw it. They really disliked it because they said you to tell the simple point, you had to go through so many hoops that it was it was just too much. Um, eh, you know, saving those kind of saving Disney animation and saving Disney live action. Ed, when was the last time you had a good Disney live action film?
Oh, dude, don't even give this to me. I
Like
I
a
don't know.
good Disney live action film.
Live action?
Live action. That wasn't attached to your like
Well,
old princesses story.
you like Jungle Cruise? All
Yeah,
right. I
I
don't know.
liked it.
I never seen it. I don't know.
It was okay,
I thought the
but
marketing
like
for that was not that amazing either. That's the
yeah, the
thing. Is like
marketing was bad.
marketing for Disney has been a big ass freaking problem
It's
lately.
been abysmal. But yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know if he saves the company, but I guess it's the first right step.
Yeah, we'll
That's
see.
how yeah, we'll
I
see.
mean, let's be
Uh,
I mean, it says a lot. It says a lot about
It's
what some people might think on that board. I don't know exactly who's on that board. I don't know what the delineation of who was for who, but clearly it was enough
yeah,
for people to be like, yeah, let's bring back the guy we originally like
well, yeah, and
was
like
out. And
for
it's all,
for a company that's not making a lot of money right now and has a lot of debt to pay off, for them to give that much money to Iger, and then also like, look, they just re-upped Bob Chapek in like August for
yes,
2 more years.
yes.
You owe him what I'm assuming is probably an equally 24, $25 million
Oh, they're
payout.
100% giving him the money. That's
Yeah,
not like
no,
a
no, you
problem.
have to.
You
He's on a
have to.
contract.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have to.
no
No,
matter
yeah.
what. Yeah.
They probably gave him more, like, to be
Yeah,
honest.
because he's been
100%.
very quiet about it, so they probably gave him a ton of
Yes.
money. But I think he's the shortest ever CEO of Disney so far.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years. Like, yeah, you got a little bit of a stiff fucking deal with COVID and you had to close the theme parks and all that. But yeah, that was
No, it's true.
Disney's in a little bit of crossroads, you know. They
It's so
really gotta get this
true.
right.
I mean, again, if you want to factor in pandemic, it's like nobody got that was a raw deal for everybody, man. And like, yeah, but yeah, I do feel a little bad. I'm sure it wasn't easy,
Yeah,
right? I'm sure it wasn't easy. That being said, the numbers are the numbers, man. And
yeah,
I don't have anything against Chapek personally, really. I mean, I
right.
don't know.
I
But
mean,
if you just want to go by the numbers, you want to go by the content that I've been seeing, you want to,
yeah,
again, the abysmal marketing campaigns, like it hasn't been great. Like, it really hasn't. And you mentioned the park experience, which I haven't been to Disneyland. Well, I went last year for Avengers Campus, and that was it.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
sucked, in my
Oh yeah,
opinion.
that's an awful expansion.
It was an awful,
One of the most overrated expansions I've ever seen.
easily one of the most overrated. I was more excited for a Bug's Life when that came out, like the Bugs Land shit when that came
Yeah,
out. I was like, oh, this is fun. Avengers Campus was wow.
yeah,
So yeah, things aren't going well for Disney, and so there you go. That's what
yeah.
happens.
You know,
That's what it is.
can Iger write the ship creatively? Sound off in the comments below. I don't know. Maybe he can, but like it's been like think about the last truly great Disney animated film. Like I know a lot of people liked Encanto, but Encanto was a viral hit because of You Don't Talk About Bruno.
100%. I know. I
You
didn't
know,
like Encanto. I
I
didn't care
didn't
for
like
it. I still
Encanto.
liked. Again, we did a review. I loved the red. What was it
Turning
called?
Red, yeah.
Turning Red was great.
Yeah.
But that was put on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
That wasn't even in
Like the
theaters.
last theatrical one. You might have
Still
to go back to
people
like
haven't seen
fucking Frozen.
Frozen. I mean, how well did Frozen 2 do? I'm not sure,
It
but
got $1 billion.
then there you go. But that was a
Frozen 2
sequel.
got $1 billion. Yeah, it's a sequel. It's
Like Toy Story 4, maybe, right? Sure
I
did
hated Toy
really,
Story
really
4.
well.
It
I
did
know you
really
did.
well, but I really disliked how they
Incredibles 2.
CGI.
That's all Pixar. See, I'm talking about all Pixar
IP.
though.
You're talking about IPs that already
Yeah, I'm
existed.
talking IPs.
I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
like an original story that did amazing. Like
No,
they're struggling, you know? Like Disney's
100%.
they're like I don't know, they're stoned creatively. They're stumped.
Yeah, they're stumped.
So like yeah, like again, Strange World and Lightyear, holy fuck. Those are two of the worst marketing campaigns.
100%. And Lightyear in particular should have done
Yes.
really well, and
Yes.
they really fucked that up.
Chris Evans, fucking Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, Toy Story, Buzz
Toy
Lightyear, like
Story. I mean, holy hell, how do you mess that up?
Yeah, I don't
How do you
know.
mess that up, Disney?
I don't know.
So anyway, that's the news on Bob Chapek and Bob Iger returning. Hopefully he can right the ship. Hopefully he can do a new live action Disney movie, like a great live action Disney movie.
It'd be
Like
nice.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right. I think that's like
like
the next thing they might have to do.
National Treasure 3.
God damn it, man!
Maybe you can
Please,
give us that National Treasure
please.
3
It's
with John Travolta as the villain.
Dude, it's happening. Like
It's happening.
I know National Treasure 2 is happening, and it's gonna have bring back what's his face? Nick Cage, 100%.
Yeah.
Because Cage has been having a Cage-assance, and
Yes.
you want money, there it is.
Jerry
That's
Bruckheimer said the script is done.
Yeah,
and they're
I know.
about to send it to Disney.
They're serious. Yeah.
Come on,
And I'm like,
come on.
fuck it.
You need
Bring
to
it
get
on.
live action movies
You
again.
need good live action movies again. With with a proper a star. Like Nick Cage is a star, you know.
You've given us way too many animated movies over the last 2 years. Way too many.
And straight up, I'm sorry, but it's been super woke. It's just it's been painfully woke, and they need to stop with the woke stuff.
You gotta. Apparently, one of the big problems with Strange World, I guess, is within the first few minutes, the son is revealed as gay, and there's like a boy on boy relationship, and parents are kind of like, "Yo, does that really need to be in the movie?" And again, does it? I don't know. Look, representation matters, but like,
you don't know how badly I wanted to scream "gay" earlier when you were like talking about it. It's a joke. I'm kidding. Yeah. It's a joke. But yeah, I know. I've heard about it too. I haven't seen the movie. I'm just saying. I've heard about the gay stuff.
Focus. If you focus more on the story and stop dropping in, like Disney's, they seem to say, "Oh, you know what? If we have a mixed marriage and one son is gay and a lesbian daughter, everyone's going to come see this." Is
that what it is?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm saying.
I was like, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I'm saying there has to be like a fucking checklist somewhere.
Yeah.
Saying if we have these things, it'll be successful.
Yeah. No,
that's not how it works. You got to make shit good.
Again, I need to watch it because it's hard for me to be like, well, yeah. I mean, there's been gay relationships in movies before, but it's a matter of like, how is it represented? Is it too shoehorned in? Is it too exaggerated? Like,
Call Me by Your Name was a massive success. I know some people had some issues with it, but it worked because you knew what it was.
It's literally one of my favorite movies of that year. I love that movie. It's great, and it's about a gay, coming of age gay story. Like, it's awesome.
People will go watch it. They just don't want it in their kids' shit.
Yeah,
that's it.
Correct. 100%.
That goes past, left or right. People just don't want to see that. People don't want to see a man and a woman kiss in a kid's movie. They don't want to see that,
dude.
They're tired of that.
That's a great olive branch to go. Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. It's not about necessarily that they're gay. It's just nobody wants to see that. That's not what they go for.
A fucking kids movie. It doesn't matter.
You just stop. No one wants that.
Put a great action scene in the movie. It won't matter. But anyway,
exactly.
I digress. We're getting sidetracked.
We're getting way far out. Yeah, but
let's get the train back on. Go to the couple Marvel. We'll just hit on this Marvel news really quick. Thor. Chris Hemsworth himself had some interviews. He released a new show called Limitless. It's on Disney Plus. Apparently, the show's pretty good. It's like a documentary, but in the documentary, he finds out that he has two genes that make him predisposed to Alzheimer's, which that doesn't mean he has it. Just I hope he doesn't get it, and doesn't mean he'll get it either. Just makes him predisposed to it.
Predisposed, yeah. Sure.
But so he's going to take a little step back. But in the marketing for this and everything, he's been talking about what's next for Thor. And he had some interesting comments, Ed, and I want to get your reaction to them.
Yeah.
So basically, he said, in order to come back for Thor, it probably would have to be my last run as the character in a solo film or as an Avenger. And he is done working with mad genius directors. That it was too much on Thor: Love and Thunder, and he's done with it. He wants a new director for Thor 5, and he really wants it to be the beginning of the end or the end of Thor's story, meaning Thor's death. What's your reaction to the mad genius comments? Because we all know what it means.
We all know what it means. I'm going to just say it straight up. Yeah, obviously he's referring to Taika Waititi. But, to be fair, like a lot of reports were coming around about Taika really not being
Yeah,
I don't know what
man.
to call it, to be honest. Just like being a very difficult person
Yeah, man.
to be with on that set. And it's surprising just because you didn't hear this stuff in Thor Ragnarok.
No.
And what a lot of people were saying was that, well, it got to him, right? All the fame, the fact that, Jojo
That's
Rabbit, which
exciting.
again, great movie, good director. I think he's amazing. Got Oscar nomination. I think, did it win for best screenplay? I forget if it did,
I think
but it
it
got
won Best
nomination.
Adapted
I
Screenplay,
think it
didn't it?
did. I think it did actually win. So yeah, Oscar winner. So yeah, you hear about these reports and like how it got to him and like and then the production on Thor 4 was or Thor 4 was a mess to say the
Mhm.
least. And yeah, the movie, if you've seen it, it's not great. It's not good. And so to hear that freaking Thor himself is like, I don't want to be with him again. I mean, makes a lot of sense. It makes me laugh. It's also just kind of sad at the
Yeah.
same time. I don't want to make fun of Taika or anything like that. I don't know what it's like to be in his shoes, but at the same time, it's just kind of sad. Like you don't, the story of Thor in production sense has always been like kind of iffy. We've
Yeah.
always loved Chris Hemsworth, but the first two Thor movies were okay. They're fine. They were sort of like the black sheep of the
Yeah.
first two phases. And then Thor Ragnarok came out. It was fucking incredible. A lot of people think it's one of the best MCU movies.
Arguably the best of Phase
Ar-
3.
arguably, sure. I wouldn't put it past anybody. And
Yeah.
then Thor's story continues in Endgame and Infinity War, and he's popular as ever. And then yeah, it comes crashing down with this, and it's just like, what the hell happened? And it's like, that sucks, man. It sucks. And I get it. I get if Chris is like, I'm tired of dealing with this. Like
Yeah.
I'm done. Like I get it. People love me, and that's fine. But like doing these movies where it's not making money, and I could be doing other things,
Mm.
and so I totally get it.
Yep.
But I wish Taika would really start to see this. I hope he's seeing this and reading it, and he's like, all right. Like fucking, I get it. I was a young and hot director, and I still probably am. I can turn the ship around if I just kind of like get my shit together. But
Yeah, I mean, my takeaway from the comments were, it goes to what you last said. I hope Tyke is hearing it, because this is Chris Hemsworth calling him out, but also James Gunn has
yeah,
called him
James
out.
Gunn, yeah,
Like other peers are starting to call him out for the process of which Thor: Love and Thunder, because everything about this movie should have been great. You had
yes,
Jane coming back. She was getting the hammer, even though it doesn't make any fucking sense. And then this movie was just a disaster from everywhere you go. Like, I made you die of laughter the other week, but we were talking about it. Everybody was gay in the movie, like for whatever reason.
still pretty funny.
Everybody. And then Jane, her story. There is no story. There is no path.
Yeah.
She just gets the hammer and is fine.
And personally, my biggest violation was, that's what you do with Christian fucking Bale as a villain.
Yes.
The guy who said that he would never do another superhero movie. You get him, and then like that's as much as you use him. Like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck was that?
It's called
Anyways,
out type.
keep going. Yeah.
And then you take Thor, who's had this like kind of amazing character development through Thor Ragnarok and Infinity War and Endgame, and he's this broken man, and then you just kind of fucking made him into this insanely dumb joke the whole movie, and it just didn't work. It was so bad.
And yeah, it's weird, right? Like, he was part of the reason that Thor Ragnarok obviously was, Thor was amazing.
He wasn't the main reason. He wasn't the writer.
Maybe not. He wasn't the writer. Maybe right.
And then they let him do everything for Thor: Love and Thunder. But to bring this back to Hemsworth, yeah, it's sad that that Thor has kind of left a bad taste in his mouth after the really high highs kind of bounced with the really low lows. So to finish this quick little news segment, he does say, "I want a new tone." What tone are you hoping Thor takes in his final form?
Oh, that's a really good question. Again, I if they go back to, I really thought Thor Ragnarok was onto something. I loved Thor as a character the most in Thor Ragnarok. He was the most interesting. He had the most depth. He was
Oh, yeah.
funny, and yet he was wearing this tragic story on his sleeve, and it played really, really well. I still think it was a little over funny, but it's fine. I get it. It was enough to rejigger sort of our interest. But so I think moving forward, I think if they do something in that sense, I think that's fine. But I think ultimately, what I do hope to see is that it does take everything Thor's been through, which has been tragic. I mean, all the heroes in the MCU basically have had a very fairly tragic story. I mean, to say the
Yeah.
least,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I just hope that they respect that and they bring that full circle.
Yeah.
He's lost his family. He's not, he lost the love of his life now. He's alone. He's a god who has nobody, and he's trying to still be this positive, funny guy, and he's still
Yeah.
trying to navigate himself. And if he has to die, I hope he actually doesn't die. I mean, he's a god. I'd like to see him sort of be maybe Odin, or I know that's not like in the comics or whatever, but
Mhm.
I'm not. I don't think he deserves death, but I think like him retiring, I think is proper. And
Mhm.
so we'll see. I'd like to see something like that happen with him.
Yeah.
Like because I think he deserves it. But I mean, are we talking like soon? I mean, he has to at least appear in Secret Wars. Like he has to finish off the phases, right? This other phase. Like I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know when a Thor 5 would be. Obviously we've read that Marvel and Feige have kind of put it on the back burner after the disaster that was Love and
Yeah,
Thunder. And I
sure.
think I think we still don't know who's directing Secret Wars.
No,
Which
we
is kind
don't.
of weird. I feel like they said Coogler is directing it, and then I
They
think
kind of like
Coogler's
yeah, they
they
said he
backtracked
was, and then
that
they backtracked
fast.
that quick.
Yeah. I'm assuming Coogler was like, maybe I don't think I want to do this, and I don't blame him. After
Oh
the
no, I don't.
emotional fucking toll that Gone Forever probably took on you, I'd be like, listen, man, I'm not directing an Avengers film this level
He
right
did
now.
say he was still interested in doing a third Black Panther, though.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
mean, I
So
don't know. So maybe it's just too much. Maybe that
yeah,
Avengers level is too much. But
but I would assume he shows up in Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. That's my guess. Um, as far as his own solo movie, if they do finish his story, I'm guessing it would be after those two. I can't imagine they smash it in between it.
no,
But maybe they do. And as far as like tone that they take him, I'm playing God of War Ragnarok right now, and without spoilers, Ed, you've played God of War, right? The original.
the 2018.
So you've seen the post credit scene where
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know all
Snow
that shit.
shows up.
Yeah, the
So yeah,
spoilers.
Thor
So, yeah,
shows up, and you
yeah.
you get to see Thor, and he is this brooding badass, and I kind of want to see that take on Thor. I want
Okay,
to see Thor get become a little bit of a dick.
okay.
And other like he's still a hero, but I want to see him take a turn to start making the hard decisions that other people don't want to make. Like
I like that.
we are going to sacrifice this planet to save the galaxy because
Oh
that's what
shit.
we have to effing do.
God damn, that's heavy.
And
Yeah.
I want to see him become unworthy, and I want to see him really do the down and dirty the way his dad did.
Sure.
Because
Oh,
I'm
well, yeah.
sure decisions are going to have to be made.
Like I said, like I'd love to see like like a
Yeah,
Odin. Like he has to really take
and
his mantle.
I want him to be like that. That would be the best next phase.
I like that.
You got his original form where he's dumb and annoying and not annoying, dumb and arrogant. Annoying's not the right word. Arrogant in Thor, and then Thor 2, he learns a little bit more. Thor 3, he kind of loses more people. We see him grow a little bit, and this would be the next phase. Like he's so burdened and just beaten by everything that's happened to him that he takes a turn, and that's what I would like to see. So
I love that. I mean, I would love
yeah,
to see that too. Will Disney
I
take that
don't know if
route?
that's
I
happening. No.
don't know. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if it's too far gone. That being said, him being the stupid just butt of every joke
Yeah.
in Love and Thunder, I'm done with that.
So sad. Yeah.
Like I'm done with that.
Marvel,
That's not interesting.
for the
And
love of God, stop demeaning your old characters. Like
yeah, I
Doctor
can't deal with this
Strange
anymore.
was dumb. For some reason, after he was the most brilliant man in the room in Infinity War, then the next take he's dumb. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
it doesn't make sense. Bruce Banner again,
Yeah,
like God
Banner's a
damn it, man.
joke now. Like, I get it. You want to introduce new characters. You want people to like the new characters and be instantly in love with them. But we don't care about perfect new characters. We
Yeah.
want some
And well,
development.
and why does it take what does it
Why do you have
take
to
like
demean one
knocking
thing?
down the other ones?
Yeah,
I
I don't get
don't
it.
understand that.
Yeah, dumb.
And like I mean, it's one of the things about like even as spread thin as Kevin Feige is, like he still has been letting that happen. And I just deep down inside of me, I know he knows better than that. So it kind of kills me to know that he's kind of letting that kind of happen. And yeah, I hope that's being redone
Yeah,
moving forward.
rethought.
Yeah,
I
because
agree.
that's bullshit. I mean,
Yep.
honestly, like you're gonna have Infinity War and Endgame happen, and then you're just
I
gonna
mean,
shit on these guys. Like I just don't
yeah.
understand.
I mean, we'll
That
find out
doesn't
in
make sense.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, right? If Scott Lang is still super stupid and Casey Lang is incredibly smart and figures everything out, that would
I
not
agree
be
with you.
great. That
I
would be
agree with
very good.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised if it just might. You know,
Yeah.
if it just might. I don't know. And it's hard. It's hard not to like play the sort of the politics game there, where it's like sort of they're white males. Like they're strong white
Yeah.
males that like dominated the last 10 years. So now that's just not how we're supposed to see them now.
All four
I can't help
female
but feel that way.
characters, essentially. Let's
Well,
be
you
honest.
look at phase 1 through again, like all they did through phase 1 through 3 was build them up like
Right.
to be the greatest, and they
Yeah.
are. And then all of a sudden they're not anymore. Like I just don't understand that. They
Yeah.
saved the fucking universe. I don't understand where we're supposed to latch onto this idea that now they're
Yeah.
stupid and bumbly and they don't know what to do.
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So
You
I'm
have this like
sorry.
thought in your head, like, let's deconstruct these characters so we can lift up these characters. But like from what you've given us, it doesn't narratively
No, it
fit.
doesn't work.
It's
Yeah.
not a
Even on a
it's
narrative standpoint, it doesn't work.
right. So
So, you
I
know,
don't know.
wow, like I just don't get
Yeah.
it. It's really sad, and this is where I'm like, dude, Kevin, what the fuck, man? Like you've been spread so thin that you don't even know what's
Yeah.
happening to your babies. Like these are your
Yeah.
babies, bro.
I want to say I remember at the beginning of this year when we started this podcast, I said I was a little worried about Marvel, and you said no, I got all the faith in Kevin Feige. And
Mm,
man, oh man, look how the times have changed with you.
No, you're right. I mean,
Oh
you're
no!
right.
Oh no! No! It's not just you.
Ah,
I have another good buddy that I talk to about with every Marvel film, and he sent me some Blade news that they signed a new director, and I was like, oh, I guess we'll see. And he goes, "LOL, what has happened to us?" And I go, "He's right. What has happened to us, Marvel fans? Like
the reason, look,
we've
the
lost
reason,
faith, man."
the reason why I even had that little hope, and like a part of me still does, and we'll talk about it in a second because I assume so, because like some of the recent stuff has been like, okay, those are pretty good.
Yeah.
But again, when we go through our ranking soon of phase 4 and maybe the entire saga up to this point, like you'll see, like there are phase 4 properties
Yeah.
that I have in my top
Yeah.
tier now. So like it's not that when the MCU is good and focused, it can still be. That's the thing. It's like I can see it. If there's no other one that I could point to, it's like Eternals, right? Like Eternals was one of those things that I feel like I don't understand how people hated it, but people do. But
Yeah.
I love
agree.
it. I think
Yeah.
it handled it really well when you put it against again the likes of Madness and Thor:
Yeah.
Love and Thunder and
I
Miss
agree.
Marvel
Completely agree
and
with that.
all
Absolutely.
that shit. So
Yeah.
but I think we've come to a middle ground on each other's like avenues on that, where it's like, okay, yeah, we both definitely see the fucking elephant in the room. Like we 100% see it. So and we're just hoping that it leaves.
Yeah.
It leaves us
Yeah.
to where the party that we were at before,
Yeah.
which would be nice. So
yeah. So yeah, let's switch this up from negative Marvel talk and hopeful Marvel talk, because look, it is good news that they're going away from Taika Waititi and a
Yeah,
new
correct.
tone for Thor. And look, like I said, if it's anything like that God of War Ragnarok Thor, it's gonna be absolutely just chef's kiss. Let Chris Hemsworth fucking stretch his legs, stretch his arms, and get going. But
Yeah,
from
I
that to that's the end of the news, to more Marvel stuff, but on a good note, I'm assuming. Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, it got released just yesterday, November 25th, just in time for the holiday season. Thanksgiving is over. You are officially allowed to watch Christmas stuff now. In my book, you're officially allowed to listen to Christmas music if you want. If you want to wait till December 1st, I think that's fine too. That's more than acceptable. But if you're don't you dare start that Christmas music on November 1st. Don't do
Keep
it.
talking, Gatekeeper. I love it.
Yeah. Oh wow. Whoa. Anyway, so Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special released. It saw pretty much the whole cast come back with a couple new additions. Cosmo is there, as well as one little guy named Kevin Bacon is back for this. But anyway, we got to see Rocket and Groot, and Peter and not Gamora, but Nebula, Drax, and finally, I'm forgetting one, Mantis. All come back, and we see them. There's a couple things. It came out. It's brand new. There's a couple things to catch you up on. They now own Nowhere, which is crazy news.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, so I guess that's the Guardians' new home base. I don't know. We don't know much what they're doing there yet. We don't know how they got Cosmo, but Cosmo looks like she's officially part of the team. She has telekinesis. She's a telekinetic golden retriever.
That was cute.
Yeah, that was cool. And everybody else is still basically the same. And you get to see Peter kind of struggling. Quill is clearly still not over the loss of Gamora, and you don't know where Gamora is. But you see Quill and the team, and Mantis. The other big reveal is Mantis is revealed to be Peter Quill's sister.
Yeah, that was wow.
Which is big news. That's big news, which I think really is going to drive home the whole family dynamic even more of Guardians 3. This was the epilogue to Phase 4 and the first jumping off point, essentially, is, as James Gunn said, for Guardians 3. Basically, what he's done is he's reset the team. You see where they are, and you get some good spirits after the movie or special. And I don't know where we go from here, but I am very excited for Guardians 3. Ed, what did you think of the holiday special?
I thought it. I mean, again, these like sort of really small bites of MCU have been really nice. Werewolf by Night was great, and this is another edition I thought was wonderful. I was laughing and just smiling the entire time, man. I just could not stop smiling. It's a great piece of just holiday fun and cheer and just upliftment with. It focuses a lot, mostly on Mantis and Drax as they try to go get Kevin Bacon.
Yeah,
I mean, it just kind of really does solidify that, like, man, James Gunn is just the guy knows what he's doing, and he knows exactly what to give people in the exact format, and it was full of humor that didn't feel anything like Love and Thunder, right? It could have And here's the weird thing about it is, like, I felt like the jokes were coming in the same rhythm, and yet these all landed for me. While I mean, most of them, while like Thor: Love and Thunder was just like a mess.
Yeah,
and again, we can dissect it in a filmmaker level, but I'm not going to go through that. But this worked. It was so funny. I couldn't help. There's so like such little small jokes I thought like really were so great.
Yeah.
And then the Kevin Bacon bit was just really funny too, like seeing him there. But again, James Gunn, I think, obviously is better at with Taika, is that he wrapped it all together again about he brought the feels, about the story, about family, and about what the season's about, and really tying all that together. And I was able to shed a little bit of a tear at the end too, just because I like even the Charlie Brown opening animation, and then like tying that back later with Yondu. I mean, I just couldn't help but like tear. I was just like, this is so great. I love it.
That Yondu scene at the end, it's revealed that, as some remember, Yondu in the first Guardians says he loves to collect little trinkets and put them on
trolls,
his
right?
dash, of his ship. And it's revealed that the person who gave him his first trinket was Peter.
Right.
And it's such a sweet moment. And it's just like, it just reminded you that, like, fuck, I do care about these characters.
Yes.
You've grown to love them. You've grown to really miss Yondu.
Yeah.
I still, my favorite line of any Marvel movie ever is when Peter says, "You look like Mary Poppins." Is he cool? Yeah, he's cool. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. That's still one of my favorite lines of any Marvel movie ever.
Don't blame me.
I love it.
So good.
Yeah, I just think it's so great that this was, released in time for holiday special. I plan on rewatching it before. I agree with you.
I think too.
It was fun Mantis is hilarious in
Mantis
this.
is great.
Drax
Yeah,
is in, Batista's in full form. He's got it.
always.
He's running and moving good. I love the way Groot looks. Looks like a buff teenager going through his husky
Yeah,
days.
he looks so painfully awkward. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
it's
like what
great.
his head's over big, and
He
it's
looks like
but
a
now,
teenager.
but he
It's
sounds like
wonderful.
back to Vin Diesel again. Like he
Yeah,
sounds
he
like the
does.
Vin
Yeah.
Diesel Groot, which we haven't had.
Right.
If you can imagine this for 8 years, like the first Guardians was 2014.
Right.
It's the last time we seen Groot in that like sort of big adult form. Well,
Yeah.
he's technically a teenager, I guess, roughly in this.
I think he's a teenager now. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but we finally get the gravel back instead of that high pitch. And I thought that was great.
Yeah.
What the one so I having seen it, I wanted to ask you because the one thing that was on my mind the entire time was okay, this is great. I love it. I'm enjoying it. Another home run for James Gunn, whatever. What I'm like, okay, is this setting us up for who is going to die in volume 3?
Dude,
Because the entire time I'm thinking, okay, who's going to die? Because like this is a good.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Did you have a thought? Do you have thoughts? You go. You go. Who do you have? Who do you think?
Funny you said that because I literally said to Olivia, I was like, that was very sweet, but I don't know if I said, God, I hope James Gunn doesn't take Mantis from Peter.
So you think it might be Mantis?
Oh, I know for a fact.
It's true.
I don't know for a fact, but I think Drax is dead.
Me too. Yeah, I definitely. I think this is just solidified that it was at least Drax. Yeah. I think we lose 2 people.
I mean, honestly, Drax and Rocket.
I think we do lose. Yeah, because I mean, so the hints that I was getting was like, well, now you have a talking dog. Do you need 2? Do you need 2 animals to talk? Like, I don't know. Like maybe he has telekinesis. So I was thinking, oh fuck, Rocket's gonna go. Well, also because the story is about Rocket, right? Like we've seen the trail, the snippet. Like it's something about Rocket. So
trailer,
it only solidified to me that it may be Drax and Rocket. Well.
Man.
I don't think Mantis because I also thought it was like a smart move that they decided because it could have been easily kind of cheesy and dumb. Oh, Mantis is like Peter's sister, but Peter has nobody anymore. Like, and the continuation of Peter and family has to go through. And I was like, okay, well, this was smart. And so to kill Mantis and like to take everything away from him. I don't know. Like,
you did it to Thor.
You're right. Again, we'll see.
No, but I do in reality, that's a very good point. I think that, at the end of the day, we'll see the new team and it'll be Groot. It'll be Peter, Mantis, and Nebula, and then Cosmo. Yeah. And then I think, a one Adam Warlock will be joining the team.
Oh my God. Yes, you're right. Well, of course, Adam Warlock. Yeah, you're right.
So, but I do think we are going to lose. I don't want to think about it. I haven't cried in a Marvel film. I don't think I have. I know you have. You're an emotional guy.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely cried a few times.
I don't know if I've cried in a Marvel film. I was very close to crying when RDJ did the snap. But man, if we lose Rocket, I would probably be. I would be like, oh man. I'm hoping he's around through Avengers Secret Wars and we lose him in Secret Wars, but I'm guessing Rocket's gone.
I think so, man. I mean, dude, they gave us Baby Rocket in that goddamn trailer. I'm like,
trailer hasn't been released. It was a leaked trailer.
I'm sorry, it's not the trailer. It's it was a sneak peek or whatever, but. Yeah, we see Baby Rocket, man, and I agree with you though, man. I don't know if I could take that. I don't know if Disney would go that as far as to kill an animal.
Look, every single person on this film has had an interview and said it is going to wreck you emotionally. It is going to take you on a ride, and just try to prepare your mind for it. The fact that everybody is saying that, it does lead me to believe that we're losing 2 guys. To bring it back to the Christmas special, the whole gist of it is that they go get Kevin Bacon as a gift for Peter to cheer him up because Christmas, to him, Christmas was always ruined, or at least to Kraglin, that's what he thought.
Right.
And I thought the message was so sweet, when Kraglin talked to Kevin Bacon when they're about to take him back to Earth. He goes, well, look, Peter thinks you're a hero because of the characters you played, and that little that little line that Nebula has is just so funny. Not all actors are pieces of shit. I was dying because I was like,
Yeah,
that's
I
so
love
true.
that sort of meta thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not everyone's a piece of shit.
yeah.
And like, yeah, he does the right thing. The music in it was great. The first song that
Oh,
kicked it
I
off,
mean, come
that
on,
was a
man.
banger, dude.
Come on. Did you really expect the music to fall flat? Yeah, this is awesome. All of
Yeah,
it was
so
great.
I'm very excited. All this did was make me excited for two things, and get your take on this. One, obviously, Guardians 3, but also it gets me hyped, dude, that Marvel has a future on Disney Plus, not attached to these shows.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you
Yeah,
100%.
right. This is the
Yeah.
second special presentation we've gotten this year, and this was just as good as the first. This was better than the first. But Werewolf by Night is a fantastic short.
Yes.
This is a fantastic short. They're short. That's the main point. This was 45 minutes. Werewolf by Night was 52 minutes.
Yeah.
And every moment mattered. Every moment counted. It was just such a nice change of pace from the 6-episode formula we've been given, which is like, hey, here's nothing happening for the first 4 episodes. Then the 5th episode, everything's going to happen, and then we're going to try to wrap it up by 6th episode.
Yeah.
Like, it's too long and it's not working. I don't think it's working at all for any of the shows, really. Like, what show's been a banger from start to finish?
Yeah, no, start to finish. I mean, no.
Yeah.
None of them have been a start to finish, no, for sure.
Right. So, like, I do think, like, Daredevil, you still do a show. It's fucking Daredevil. The 18-episode thing does kind of make me very worried a little bit because, like, that's a lot of fucking content that I don't know. But
to be fair to the shows, right? Like, if you think about TV syndication, like that's sort of what the place that it's playing, the shows are they're fine. You know, they are like, again, when you think about TV, there's bajillion shows a year.
Bajillion, yeah.
They're, you know, like, seriously, like, literally.
Yeah,
And
no,
they fit nice. They're obviously, actually, most of them are actually kind of better than most. So
yeah,
it's not like, yeah, have they been bangers? Like, you know, phase 1 to 3 are just like amazing. No, but I think, you know, they're fine.
Look,
you know,
we spoke earlier that there are going to be some changes. You know, Bob Iger's taking over. You know, the biggest loss of money that they had was Disney Plus. They've lost a couple billion putting into these shows that haven't been so successful. I mean, it's not just Marvel shows. Don't get me wrong. Like,
no, it's not.
Star
But,
Wars
and it's
shows
also
haven't
not
been
just
so
Disney
good.
Plus. Streaming is still an infant, you know,
Money
and it's
pit.
not, but it's not doing great. But
Right.
you know, fair enough. Like, it's not. They're all experiencing.
That's a very fair point.
It's that's
but
all, you know.
I do think
But
that
you're
this
right.
is a way to, like, kind of fix. Like, you announced Agatha Coven
Sure.
of Darkness, right? Now
Sure.
people are saying that's probably going to be a short, a special. Like, I think that's going to be great. You give me 45 minutes of Catherine Hahn. That's probably all I need.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
I agree.
you pick and choose, you know, Ironheart. Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe give it 6 episodes. That's probably, you know, Riri Williams, Dominique Thorne did a great job in Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, she's great.
So, yeah, go ahead. So yeah, that's my takeaway from this.
Yeah, it's,
I'm
you know,
excited for the future. I'm glad phase 4 is over.
Me too. Yeah, me too. Dude, it was too much. It was too much, particularly because of the shows.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was way too much to Marvel. I don't need this much Marvel. I really liked the cadence they had before, where it was like 3 movies a year. Like, even
who would have thought that you and I and other people I know, and I'm sure other people you know, would be Marvel fatigue. That it actually happened.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you. And it happened so quickly too, you know, like, well, because you're right. I mean, when you look at the freaking slate, and we're going to in phase 4, man. Yeah. Holy shit. It was packed.
I'm building a tier list now. I don't have enough room for all the shit.
I agree. Wow. I mean, I could not believe how much we had gone through, especially during, like, just out of a pandemic, of how much freaking Marvel we had. And you know, maybe if they were just better, I would be okay. But unfortunately, they were okay. It was a lot of, like, okay.
Yeah.
And there's only so much of okay you can take in a year or two.
Yeah.
And I think but to be fair, again, first time on TV, it was a completely sensible move to make. To make Marvel shows. That made so much sense.
Yeah.
But now we're learning, like, okay, we can step back a little bit. I think it's a little too much. but at the same time, I don't know. Now we're talking about business. Maybe, again, they lost some money even after making all these shows. Like, I don't know. They needed them in the beginning as cannon fodder. They needed it because to get people in. Hopefully they can survive without them. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Make better shows, more quality. I think what every streaming service is learning for sure is that quantity is not the way to go.
Yeah.
Quantity, people have tried that and it's not working for everybody. Quality is still king, I think. Yeah. It's seemingly that quality is still king. So hopefully quality starts to come back. And quantity, maybe they can fill that with other things. I don't know. But quality, I think, is where they need to take everything. So we'll see.
Maybe. Yeah. It's still the early days of Disney Plus, and we'll see how the shows develop and change over time. But as far as Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, I think it was a great way to end Phase 4. And
totally,
it was a wonderful thing. Go watch it again. Watch it every Christmas. It's got fun music. It's got a fun little message.
Oh, I could totally see myself watching this again every Christmas.
I plan on watching it again. Closer to Christmas.
That's how good it is. It's just like, it's one of those things that's so inoffensive in any way. It's like, I can just watch this, sit down and laugh and smile. And and the message is a universal message of love, and family. And that's family. It, period.
Yeah.
No gay shit. I'm just kidding.
Oh, they go to a gay bar.
Oh yeah! Hey, they do.
You don't care about it.
Yeah, that black dude hits on Drax. Yeah, I thought that was great.
Give a shit about
because it's not in your fucking face, man.
Yeah,
like,
you don't
you're
care.
right. They do go.
Dancing is for Neanderthals or something. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. They go to the gay bar. Okay, hold on. Let's share some of our favorite moments because there are so many. Like, it's like a moment. It's like a great scene, a moment kind of thing where it's like it just kept going with like the besties. One of my favorite that made me laugh so hard because I wasn't expecting it was when they were on the front of the Chinese Grauman Theater and they see the robot and then Drax gets so worked up and then like Mantis is like, I'm sorry, but my friend, like his whole family was killed by a robot. And then he just starts punching him at the end. I just thought that was so fucking funny.
Yeah, that part got me good. When she first took a shot and she breathed out like fire essentially, that's how we all feel taking our first shot.
Absolutely.
I loved that part. Oh my god, the best part.
Go.
Nebula gives Rocket Bucky's arm.
Bucky's arm. Yeah.
And the face on Rocket's like
he's never the best gift he's ever been given.
Yeah. And she says, "You're welcome."
Yeah.
And then leaves. Like, oh, that part was.
You're right. You're right. I love that. too. Yes, it's just so good.
That might be my favorite part, actually.
Yeah. I mean, it's also I don't blame you that it's a Bucky bit too.
The opening song is one of the funniest Christmas songs I've ever heard in my life.
It's so great.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
The way he's doing
his arm thing was like that looked unnatural. I was like, what are you doing?
Well, I couldn't tell if that was like, is that CGI or is that his
No,
arm?
he's really doing that. I'm pretty sure he's doing that.
Oh,
I don't know, but I'm like, it looked real. It looked real.
Even like Quill was like,
yeah,
that's kind of cool.
That song might be a new classic. I mean, just all the things it was saying was so freaking funny.
Yeah, but
Master Lockpicker.
True.
And
like funny, like it's meant to make fun of and not be real, but it's like also like all this shit's kind of actually true.
Kind of creepy and weird. Yeah, it's weird. That's what it was. It's like how aliens would see Christmas to a human. Yeah. It's like it's a weird. Yeah. Like it's a weird thing. It was a great point. Like that perception of Christmas from an alien perspective was so funny.
Yeah, dude.
And it's just so many memorable things in 43 minutes, man.
Yeah.
Just the leanness of just like every little bit, and it worked. Drax liking the freaking the elf. Even that was funny. Like at the end, he gets it at the end. It's like, oh my god, that's so
when
good.
She says,
like,
"What means more to you, Peter or the Happy Elf?"
Happy Elf. Yeah. And dude, let's talk about Palm Clementif as Mantis. She brought it, man. I love that James gave her like
a character, essentially.
Yeah, really gave her a lot to work with here because we haven't really had her for a second. She's been there obviously, but like not a lot to chew on.
Right.
And now she'd given her like, I'm a sister. I get to play like a sister role, and like she gets to I love her yell. Actually, her yell's awesome.
Her first little like fight scene that she has with the cops.
Oh, it's great.
Shows that she maybe has been training a little bit with Nebula.
Yeah, she has some combat skills now.
She's got combat skills now. Yeah, just enough tiny little character development and tiny little character drops to give you a tease of Guardians 3.
100%.
You're
Yeah,
still lost. This
yeah, and
family is
I
still a
thought he
little
did a good job.
broken.
I thought Pratt did a great job playing
Yeah,
that, like, sort of like, trying like grief almost. Like he's just
yeah.
trying to get through the
He's
day.
just trying
Like
to get through the day.
he's
Yeah.
just trying to get fucking through the day. He's so
He's
you know,
broken.
he's so broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So,
what's interesting is we don't really like I'm still really confused as to like the timeline. I don't know when these things are taking place. I really don't.
yeah,
And I bet do you think it's really possible that we will see, I kind of theorized this before, but like
Mhm.
we will learn that perhaps we have been seeing multiverses already this whole time. And that we will be
Ooh.
dropped a bomb that none of these people have been none of these groups have been happening concurrently in Earth 313, or sorry, 616.
616.
That these all have been maybe happening across the multiverse.
Shit, dude. I don't know. That's another problem.
Because I just feel like they've been very like wishy-washy. It's like, when are these taking place? I don't know. Like,
yeah, the timeline of this has been very like it. Look, first off, yes, the timeline needs to get cleaned up.
Yes.
Will we see it's in a multiverse? I think we could, because you can see almost like at this moment in time, anything is possible. Right?
Anything's possible.
Because you open the multiverse in Multiverse of Madness, and the movies you have teased up here.
Yeah.
So anything's possible. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But yeah. Okay. Well, those are our thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Go watch
Very
it.
quick. Yeah, go watch it. It's great.
It's so great.
It's a holiday classic. 43 minutes of just pure Christmas joy and
Just
fun.
joy. It's just joy and a little bit
be
of
happy.
Yeah, and just heartwarming. It's very heartwarming. And all the right buttons.
From something very happy to something a little sad. So last week, we're gonna finish up the show.
Almost forgot.
Last week we got some really sad news. Earlier this week, sorry, we got some really sad news that Jason David Frank had passed away. And Ed and I wanted to take the time to just kind of, remember Jason David Frank, give us some of our memories of him and his characters. And for those that don't know, Jason David Frank was the Green Ranger on Power Rangers, then the White Ranger,
to say the least,
the Red Zeo Ranger.
Yeah.
Then he was the Red Turtle Ranger, and then he came back and he was.
And don't forget the White Ranger.
So, he was a hero to many, a legend to many, and he will always be a massive influence within the Power Rangers community for so many reasons.
For sure.
But Ed, just hear some thoughts on him, like what he meant to you as a kid and all that.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's an understatement to say that like he was a humongous part of my life from when I was basically 5 years old all the way up to like high school, when I was like sort of not really, I was too cool for the kiddie shit because I want to be a cool guy in high school. Yeah. Yeah, man, like a lot of people like Jason, but when I saw the Green Ranger, and then particularly when he played Tommy Oliver, when he became the White Ranger, he was easily that was my hero at that time.
Yeah,
the White Ranger. I love the White Ranger, and Tommy in himself was great, and particularly because of his story arc, which if people don't know, Tommy Oliver started off as a bit of a villain. He was like an anti-villain, and as a kid, that's how I saw him. I was like, oh, dude, this guy's a jerk, man. I don't like him.
Yeah.
And the way he turns around, and becomes a good Green Ranger, and then becomes the fucking White Ranger, and then he becomes basically the leader. Like he takes over the Red Ranger, basically. Like no, everyone started loving Tommy and not Jason.
Yeah.
And he goes through. He's part of the freaking movie. I mean, and then he comes back in Dino Thunder, and then from there he before he died, he was on track to make his own movie. He was going to make his own White not White Ranger movie. I mean, it might have been. I don't know. The lore has since been crazy, but he's going to make his own movie. He's been writing this for like a long time in the best way. He's been really like probably one of the most active, if not the most active former Ranger, and continuing it. And the guy means so much to me. I mean, honestly, like, there's one reason why this Steam Deck is colored this way.
Oh, wow.
It's why it's why my scheme in general is white and gold. You know, yellow, gold's hard to find. But like my theme on my computer was once white and gold, and so yeah, he means a lot. I mean, he really did mean a lot as a kid to me. And again, the White Ranger in particular, dude. When I saw the White Ranger in the movie,
dude,
like in the I've said this before, the armor though. Holy shit, man! I went just bonkers. I just went bonkers. I just could not take it. I absolutely loved it, and so. No, he's a great. So I mean, he did mean a lot. He did mean a lot, and so it really sucked. It really, really sucks to hear when you, a good guy, I mean, see, I don't know him personally. I'm sure he had his demons too, but at the same time, it's undoubtable that he was a decent human being at the least, and because for everything he's done for Power Rangers, the Power Ranger community, and the martial arts community, he's been good there too. And just he's I've never heard anything bad about him in terms of like fan action reaction. So we lost a good one. So how about you? What did you think?
I mean, dude, like when you and I first saw this, we kind of like were both just like in shock because this hit us like Paul Walker and Robin Williams hit us. Just complete shock and surprise, and one of the ones that made us actually sad. And for me, I'd have to agree, man. Like, I'm gonna sound like such a boomer, but like kids these days, they have. You have the most amazing Spider-Man to look up to in Tom Holland. You have Tony Stark, RDJ. You have Captain America. And you have those toys for me and Ed. He was our Tony Stark. He was our Captain America.
So
he
true.
Was our everything. Like this guy. I remember I had the Green Ranger toy that flipped from his head to
the version. I have the white. I have the White Ranger of that.
We press the belt and they flip over. It's like my favorite toy growing up. I think I have the white version toy, and I had the white Tiger Zord, which was his first, and then the white
maybe the coolest Zord still to the existence.
I have the Green Dragon Zord, and I had all those Zords, and I probably still have them in a box at home somewhere, But
I have the Saba sword somewhere.
Saba, I definitely have the Saba sword.
It's somewhere here,
yeah, dude. Like he was just the coolest guy you've ever got to see. He was like the first anti-hero you ever got to see. Where he really did change his arc, and he meant. Yeah,
right? Like, how awesome is that? Like, he was. I think that's why he became sort of like the most celebrated Ranger because he felt the most flawed, and yet he turned his life around, right? Like everybody loves that. Everybody loves like knowing that you're not perfect, and yet you can become the leader, right? You can be someone. You can be the person who people just want out of their way and like shun you out to someone who's like, I'm your leader. Like I can lead you, and you should look up to me, and like I'll lead you. I thought that was such a great arc.
Yeah, dude, and like he was so cool to watch on screen, to grow, and like I remember the Turbo movie, the fucking Mighty Morphin movie. Everything
he made those movies. I don't know if they'd be as good without him, to be honest.
Right.
Like straight
up,
he's
a perfect leader.
He's a perfect leader. He's a perfect leader.
It's so sad because that he did mean a ton as a kid to me, and I just think that it gone way too soon, but the legacy will always live on. I mean, Tommy Oliver is in comics now. He's in video games. So yeah, but that's the point I wanted to drive home. Like this guy was our hero. This guy was our Tony Stark.
Definitely one of our first heroes. Like definitely, like as a kid, he was. Yeah.
The reason to buy toys was this guy because he was so cool on screen. The White Ranger, and then the Green Ranger, then the White Ranger, then the Red Zeo Ranger. But yeah. Those are our thoughts on it. And rest in peace. And
rest in peace. That's all I can say. I mean, it's just
thoughts and prayers to his family and stuff. And I want to end the show. Quick little remembrance there. But I want to end the show on some high notes. Let's talk Let's talk about some of our favorite Tommy Oliver, Jason David Frank moments, dude. I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead. I have one.
The first time he calls the Dragon Zord. The first time he plays his flute and he calls the Dragon Zord. I mean, as a kid, have you ever been more hyped in your life?
No.
Dude, I was like, is this guy is he playing the fucking dagger right now?
Yeah,
What's he about to come out of the water?
A fucking dragon, bitch.
Shit. dude, yeah, like, oh, that was one of my favorite moments.
Oh,
Like,
bro. Oh,
when that,
you're so right. I
when you
mean,
used to put like custom ringtones on your stupid phone, that yeah,
oh,
that was my
fuck, man.
ringtone when I got a text message. It was
I
that.
mean, easily the coolest piccolo flute of all time.
Yeah, what
You
is
made
that?
a
Yeah,
flute? Like, what the fuck?
yeah,
Like,
Green
you
Dragon
made
call.
flutes cool, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
dude. Oh,
I remember the scene. Anybody who knows Power Rangers like remembers that scene. Like, yeah, that was like one of the most epic moments in
yeah,
any Power Rangers.
like the first time that happened
Absolutely
to me.
correct. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
what about you?
no, 100%. For me, it's when he was crowned, when he became the White Ranger,
Oh, when
because
he like comes down, like
yes.
exploding.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, dude, are you kidding me? Like
Yes, yes.
that, and then he turns around with the helmet off, and you go like, "Hey guys," I mean, that's just one of the
And Kimberly faints.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, dude, that was well because you never. Again, it's just one of those. It started the whole, because you started with just like the regular the colors.
Yeah,
You didn't know you could have fucking White Ranger. What the fuck is this? Like, and then it
dude.
starts the whole
Yeah,
like extra Ranger.
yeah. The Sixth Ranger. Yeah,
The Sixth Ranger. There you go, the Sixth Ranger.
yeah,
But I mean, look, but just look at I mean, if you just look at the design of the suit, it's fucking awesome, and it's like based on a tiger. Like, and he had the sword. I mean, it was the coolest fucking thing
yeah,
I think I've seen up to that point. And just to know it was like the former Green Ranger, which was then
yeah,
the coolest Ranger up to that point, and it
yeah,
was still Tommy. I
yeah,
mean, there was just it's one of the most memorable scenes in
yeah.
any, I think, kids show ever.
Yeah.
It's so good. But
I got another one. When I think this was before he came back for Dino Thunder.
yes. Well, really?
Forever Red.
Oh, Forever Red. Yeah, yeah.
Forever Red might
Oh,
be one
yeah.
of my
How could you?
high points of my, I guess, maybe I think I was probably a teenager, so I'll say
Sure.
of my teenage life.
Sure.
Dude, that was the most epic special I've ever seen. I remember I saw a commercial for it on TV, and this is when VHSs were still a thing. This wasn't like DVDs yet. And I said, I gotta get an empty VHS so I can record this and watch it back anytime I want. So I recorded the episodes back to back, and I was like, how much like to
Oh
see
my
him come back,
God.
and like that's the first time you saw him, and he was the Zeo Red Ranger,
Yes, he was. Exactly.
which people forget. Like the Zeo arc and Rangers are one of the most underrated in my opinion.
I love the Zeo arc. Love the Zeo
Zeo
arc.
is so fucking cool. But
Love
when he
Zeo
came
arc.
back and he morphed into the Red Ranger and he was that leader again, with Andros and all those guys, I was like, this is so cool.
Dude.
And it was like it Forever Red was like I think an American production, so you saw it wasn't the taken from the Super Sentai
Yes.
footage, so it was actual live footage of them fighting and then them doing the stunts and stuff. And I just thought it was absolutely epic. That was one of my favorite moments. I can remember right now off the top of my head, man.
You're right. You're
Yeah,
absolutely right. Like his return. I mean, like, because you're right. That is the first time we see him back.
yeah,
Ever since he ends what was his last thing? It was Turbo, right?
yeah. Before that, it
Pretty
was
sure it was
Turbo.
Turbo.
He left in the middle of that show, right?
Okay,
They
right,
all
yeah.
left. They replaced all the Rangers.
100%. And like, yeah, to see then all the Red Rangers together, like, I mean,
Yeah,
come on, and he's leading them in. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
come on, man.
dude. That
Come
was
on,
epic.
man.
That was so epic. That was when I think all the Rangers carried over until Lost Galaxy.
Yeah, yeah. I think you're right. I think the Lost Galaxy was probably the last time.
No, I think
Oh no,
Lost
it was the
Galaxy
first.
first time.
Oh, the
like,
first time. I'm sorry.
recast.
It was the first time. It was a completely different set
Cast.
of people.
Yeah.
Lost in Space was the last.
Yeah,
The last time we saw
carrying over the characters.
it was like that arc from
Yeah.
the first. Yeah, correct. And yeah,
Oh
yeah,
man.
yeah. He was all the way into in space. He was there since the
Yeah.
beginning, all the way to in space. Red
Uh,
Ranger, man.
What about you? What other moments you got?
I mean, the other moments have to do with the movies because
Go
those are
ahead.
the ones I remember the most. The first one, I know this is gonna sound stupid. I mean, again, dude, man, it's when he says it's morphin time in the movie when they're about to before they fight the ooze,
Yeah.
whatever, the ooze guys,
Yeah,
whatever.
the Ooze guys.
Oh my god, man! Like the camera zooms. It's because like, you don't do this in the show, but it
Yeah.
was the first time you see like a cinematic the camera zooms in on them, like on him in particular. Okay,
Yeah.
and he goes, puts the hand in the back. He's like, it's Morphin. He looks exactly in the fucking the into the lens. I just.
Yeah.
And then
when that suit is revealed.
Yeah, the suit reveal.
I was like,
insane. The suit reveal is insane, and they do it beautifully, which is like it literally just it's a flash of light, and it's them in this because like to do the fucking how do you do that? It's without looking stupid, like you know, like it's just and he's in the suit, and it's the first time you see the armor, like the armor.
Yeah,
I mean, how can you not? Yeah, I mean he's wearing like a white tank top with like the flowy jean. I mean, dude, man, like how cool was that moment for me? It's just so ridiculous. Yeah. And then I don't even know if you remember this, but in the Turbo movie, which was nowhere near as good as the first one.
Yeah.
There is a scene where Kimberly and Jason are in that movie. They make like small cameos.
Yeah.
And it's when Jason and they're evil, right? They're like evil for a second.
Yeah.
And him and Tommy and Jason fight.
Yeah.
While Tommy's like in the red suit, and I just thought that was like one of the coolest moments because you see for the first time it reverse.
Yeah.
Because that like Jason being evil was like when he was evil.
Right.
And this is where he's the leader, and he's like, I'm not gonna fight you, Jason.
Yeah.
And it's I just love that cycle, and for both of those characters, I thought it was one of the best moments. I was like, that's a cool little narrative arc there.
Yeah.
I really
liked.
love
this is corny too. I love when in that movie when he goes, all right, guys, shift into turbo.
Yeah.
Oh, dude! Why?
No, but how cool! No, I love shifting the turbo. That's so cool. Yeah,
that's
it's definitely
cool tagline, and
it was definitely cooler than. I mean, the in space one was a little like okay, that's a little lame, but it's still.
Oh yeah, what
it was in the button press. It was like
I
don't know.
I think he says
3,
5
or
something.
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a little lamer, but the shift in the turbo, they had a key, and then like they had to put it in their thing.
Turbo, they turned the key to turn it on. Yeah,
Oh,
some of the
dude.
morphers had been like, I don't know. I haven't seen a Power Rangers TV show in years.
Oh God, I don't know. I don't know what's
some of
happening.
the morphing like things have gotten a little. I think a
Bro,
little bit out of hand.
One of the things we need to do is a reaction video to like just watching the intros to those to the newest ones and just like dissecting them because
like the music or the
intros, like the music. Well, because you also can like talk about you see everything they do and you can talk about it. I went on a little binge of that. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What happened?
Yeah,
holy shit!
Some of the older ones are some of those songs are bangers.
Are you shitting me? I would argue they're all pretty banger until like I don't know.
Oh man, they're all banger. But
I think they're all banger ups to like Dino Thunder or some shit like that.
Which one was fucking great? Lightspeed Rescue. That one is.
I was literally singing that in my head right now. Better make it Lightspeed Rescue.
Yeah. Dude,
those good. Oh, dude, it's
some
so
of those
good.
songs are just like,
oh, they're so. I'm telling you, we should do it. We should do a reaction. Yeah. I would argue. I think they're all pretty good, even up to like that part.
Yeah,
I think like Wild Force was a little lame, maybe. I think
Wild
that was like
Force. That's what Forever Red was in. It was in Wild Force.
Yeah, I thought Wild Force theme song was a little like okay, it's like it's fine, kind of cheesy and like a little lame.
Yeah.
It got like more like hopeful, uplifting versus like rock and like the rock element was so key, and I love that for most of them. But that's when it started changing a little bit.
Lost Galaxy, another banger.
Yes, I love Lost Galaxy.
Ooh, no, another banger. Time Force.
Oh yeah, Time Force.
Power
Rangers. Yeah. No, I'm telling you that. Again, tell me one from the beginning to like up to then that era, like where there was like not good. Like they're all pretty good.
Zeo was like a straight metal song.
Well, it was like a rendition of the original, right? And then, but it was like a little more. Yeah. They changed it up a little bit.
Time Force might be one of the most underrated seasons, also. I think
Time Force. Well, I love Time Force because this was the first time I thought they did a good job with the one of the female Rangers, like where I like because Jen was like the lead. I think that might have been one of the first time the leader was a woman. Right?
She was the leader, yeah.
Jen was the leader, and she had a good arc. Like it was really tragic. I think I remember like she had a love story with Wes, and it was like one of those like, you're from a different time, a Future West, right?
Yeah, Future West,
different time, and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Time Force was great. Dude, one of the more recent ones that I actually really liked was SPD. Do you remember that one? And I actually thought the song for SPD was pretty sick too. I don't know if you remember SPD, but it was the
I
one.
feel
The
like
most obvious one is that, or the obvious element from that show is that their commander was a dog
oh yes,
with
yes.
the
Okay, I know which one
100
you're talking
on the
about. Yes,
suit. Yeah,
yes, yes. I know which one you're talking about.
I
Yeah,
thought that was a pretty good one out of the like
yeah.
more recent ones
We're
that I
gonna
thought
have
was.
to. So we had a colleague of ours slash friend that we used to work with, Seamus.
Oh
He is
yeah,
like a authority in the Power Rangers community or
I
something.
think he's like really honestly as far as with his knowledge, I'm pretty sure he's like really well known.
Yeah,
For all I know,
we gotta like get him
Aeon's
on and
beyond
do.
my knowledge for sure.
We've got to get him on and do a whole ranking of
Oh, it'd
every
be
Power
so
Rangers
cool.
season.
I would love for him to to just even teach me about like how the fuck has this thing evolved ever since I kind of like left
Yeah,
it back
yeah.
in like
What's the
2000.
future of Power Rangers?
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
know,
I really
I
don't
mean,
know. I
kind
don't
of tie
know.
it back to like Jason David Frank a little bit. He was kind of the anchor in America for Power Rangers,
Oh, that's an understatement.
right?
Absolutely,
Yeah. So like,
absolutely.
what's the future look like? Are they who? First of all, who owns Power Rangers now?
I
Uh,
don't know. It's a good
are they
question.
still using Japanese footage? And if they're not, are they going to shoot new shows? Also,
It's a great question.
I don't know if you've ever read the Power Ranger
No,
comic books that
I
have
haven't
come
read
out
anything.
through Boom Studios or whatever.
No.
They're apparently amazing. And
Oh,
people are saying, just make a cartoon from
of
these
those,
arcs.
sure.
Maybe
I
we
don't
get
know.
to see that eventually. I don't know.
I would love it. I'd love it.
I'll reach out to Seamus. We'll have to do that. But
And then we can't forget about the recent movie, which I think some people would
oh,
want to forget.
I want to rub
I
it from my
didn't hate
memory.
it. I
I
honestly
hated it.
didn't. You really hate it? I think
Ah,
no. Look, the suits are shit, and I hate the Zords. The design on the short, all that shit was
oh yeah,
stupid.
those were bad. Yeah.
I didn't hate the drama. Like
May-
I liked the
mm,
characters, and I thought
Maybe
the
I have
drama
to
was pretty
rewatch
good.
it. But I would have done a more John Hughes take on high school.
Oh, interesting.
It was a little too dramatic for me.
You thought it was a little too dramatic.
Yeah, like
I didn't mind
aren't
it.
kids angsty enough?
Yeah. I mean,
Are-
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah,
I think a
don't
little
know.
levity is still fine. I
Yeah.
didn't. I think that could work. Yeah, but I thought
That's
the actors were pretty good. And
that's another question. Is there another Power Rangers movie in the works?
No.
That's a reboot. Oh, I can't. No, wait. Come on. Is fucking this world?
No, man. No, I don't think so. I mean, I think it's like in the book. I think it's like in the books. But do they have like a direction? No, I don't think so. No, not right now. Not after pandemic. I think they're gonna sit on that for a second. You look it up. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I would bet money they have nothing straight yet, because I don't think that movie made its money back. I don't think it did.
Power Rangers. Netflix currently holds the distribution rights. They have secured. They're in talks with directors about a new franchise for movie.
Movie.
Oh,
here we go again. All right. Well, we'll see. Netflix though, so it's gonna be a Netflix show.
This is all brand new, all brand new, dude.
I'm sorry, man, but like I don't know.
This is from May 2022.
It's not like bad news or good news, but there have been some cool stuff that Netflix has done with certain IP, and then some really fucking stupid shit that they've done. So I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Oh well, no. Look, this is so Paramount has the rights to it now.
The Power Rangers movie was Paramount, right?
I think so.
No. I thought that was Paramount. Or no, it was Lions. It was no. It was Lionsgate. It was Lionsgate. I'm wrong. Does Paramount own Lionsgate? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay, look, I have some info right here. Let me read this off about the new Power Rangers movie. So it will be. It's Netflix. Netflix has the rights to it at the moment.
Okay.
It's not a new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers film, so it'll be a new team of suits you've never seen before. Will have a more comedic tone, but still be in the vein of a high school setting. They're aiming for a 2024 release date. And that's about it.
Okay.
But Netflix is also developing a show separate from the Sentai
What the fuck?
Separate from the Sentai series,
Okay.
which is interesting. I mean, look,
all right.
I don't know. It worked back in the 90s. Will it work now with the, taking the Japanese footage and, just reshooting the scenes in English?
I don't know. I mean, they could definitely do it as long as they keep wearing masks or helmets.
Mhm.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, I'd love for it to keep going strong. It still is. I mean, obviously. But I'd love to watch something that like I could really like sink my teeth into again.
Yeah, give me a cartoon. Give me an Invincible version of the Power Rangers.
What's that? Oh, like the
Maybe.
the show.
Yeah,
Invincible.
maybe not that violent, but that's violent show. Fuck. That is a hard show. Fuck. God
I don't know.
damn.
Yeah, I mean, man, I actually don't really have a vision for like what I would want to see in a new one, but I don't know.
I don't know. All right. Well, that's it. That's it for today. Again, rest in peace, Jason David Frank.
Yes.
You were the hero of the 90s kids, man. You were the first hero. You gave us so much. So all our love and support. And yeah, man, it's sad way too soon. But rest in peace. And that's it for this week. So on that note, I'm Alex. That's Ed. And thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.